Welcome, I'm Braelyn, and today I'm going to show you a walkthrough of my Beginner Essentials dashboard that is included in my Notion system for ADHD people called Your ADHD Mind. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this page here. I do recommend, first thing, change the name of this page to something fun. Mine says Welcome Braelyn. It can say like your name, dashboard, whatever it is, change it to something that will feel more personal and fun when you open it up. So the first things that you're going to see here is that we have a couple different sections. This one on the left is just a simple notepad. And if you click here, you can type in things that you need that you're maybe not sure where to put just yet, but you don't want to forget. Maybe you're working and something pops up and you can just quickly add it to there and remove it from your mind. If you'd like to delete any of these little guys too, you can hover over the 6 dots right here and click delete, and that'll pop away so that you don't have to see those instructions. The next thing you'll see here is that we have a view called My Tasks. Now, I prefer to hide this little area here. So if we hover here and click minimize, it'll close that up for us, and it will make sure that we can see all of the tabs that we need to see for our tasks. The first one here is going to be high priority tasks. This tab, and if you hover over any of these, you'll see a little descriptor of what it is in case you forget later. This tab is going to be any tasks that we have essentially starred, and starring them is by checking this little box underneath the star here. It's telling us that this is important. So let's say your list of tasks is quite long. For instance, mine is like usually over 100 things. You can go through on the day when you get to work or when you sit down to work, and you can say, today I'm going to work on these things, and you can star them, and then you can look at a more condensed view of your tasks. Now, that is one great way to do your tasks. The way that I prefer to do my tasks is based on an assigned date. That means I assign tasks for myself on the days that I'm going to do them. So here you'll see, if we look at our entire task list, there is an assigned date property, which basically means I'm going to do this task today. Now, I set this up yesterday, so I'm just going to move a few of these so that you can see what I'm talking about by clicking on here and choosing the date. Now, if I go to today's tasks, you'll see that I also have a list of tasks that I've scheduled for myself. Now, whether you like to use the high priority feature or the today feature, both work very similarly, just a little different depending on how you want to do it. I'm very scheduled and very regulated, so it makes sense for me to schedule out my tasks. Some people might not like that, which is why I've given you the high priority option. So in the morning, you can come and look at your list, or you can brain dump a list, and then you can mark stuff as I'm going to do this today. The nice thing is these high priority tasks come tomorrow. If I don't mark them as done, they're still going to be here. The today's tasks, if I don't mark these as done on tomorrow, it's going to show me things I have scheduled for tomorrow. So this view does require you to stay a little bit more on top of your tasks. This way is maybe better for somebody who's not going to be in here every single day and isn't quite as scheduled or on top of your daily schedule of tasks. We also have a week view. This is going to show you things based on the day that you have assigned them. So this is what I use as my main view of tasks. So every week I can see everything that I need to do. I can easily move stuff around. Like I didn't do these things. They're not marked as done. So I can reschedule them for myself. And it just makes it really easy to sort of plan out your week based on the days that you have assigned yourself to do the tasks. Just makes it really easy for you to plan out your week for your tasks if you are looking to do that. I also enjoy that it kind of helps us stay away from giving myself too many things in one day, because I can just tell like that it's visually like, oh, that's too much. If I have to scroll down to see the rest of my day, I've overloaded myself with tasks, and that's probably not going to work out good, where something like this just looks a little bit more balanced. You'll also have a brain dump section. Now, I am somebody who does not brain dump my tasks, because when I think of a task, I enter it in on my phone the moment that I think of it. That way, instead of sitting down to work and being like, here, let me unload my brain of all the 72 things that are floating around in there, I am constantly unloading my brain all the time. Then, when I log in here, I never have to do a big brain dump. However, I do understand that not everybody is wired that way. And so the brain dump section basically just allows you to come in and type a bunch of tasks. And the easiest way to do that is to click this new page button right there and just pump in all the tasks that you're thinking of. And once you have them in there, you can give them categories, like what what does this task apply to? Up to you. You can assign them days. When are you going to work on this task? I'll work on these tomorrow. And do these tasks have due dates? If they do have due dates, you can give them to them. A lot of my tasks don't have due dates, but you may be in a position where your stuff is really important and it does have due dates, so you can add that in. This is a really nice view if you are somebody who likes to sit down when you get to work and make a to-do list. Every single day, this will clear, so what you created yesterday will not be here, and you can just type in what you need to do for today. If you're like, where did my brain dump go from yesterday? It will be over here in your all tasks list. You can always find everything here, except the only thing that will not show here is things that are completed. So if we come over to our completed tasks view, let me just mark one as done so that you can see. And I've got this super fun little button. Boop. We'll mark those 3 as done. If we come over here to completed tasks, what's really nice is when you hit that done button, it's going to change the status of the task to done and also add a completed date for you so that these will be in order of the day you completed them. So if you need to go back and find something from a week ago or a month ago, you're like, did I do that? Because that happens a lot. You can come in here and they're grouped by like today, last week, last month, and then it will say like, February, January, December. It makes it super easy for you when you mark a task as done that it just boop goes right over there. So those are the task views that come on this page. You do not have to use all of them. Like I said, some people like to brain dump. Some people like to mark off stuff as high priority. However you like to do your tasks, just know that you're able to do them in whatever way works for you. When you're starting in to add new tasks, I would add them to this all tasks list first, and then you can kind of assign them days or due dates, and according to how you do it, they will either show up in your high priority section, or if you assign them days, they will show up in your week view or your today's task if the assigned date is today. There's also a button here to add new tasks, but under any tab, you can also click this new page button. And if you click the new page button on any of these views, for instance, if I click new page over here, you'll see it automatically has it marked as high priority. If I click the new page over here, it's automatically going to have the assigned date as today. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of nice. Versus if you added in all tasks, it won't apply any properties for you. If we scroll down a little bit from here, the next section is going to be resources. Now this you can use to save anything. Lists, notes, screenshots, documents, links, literally whatever you want. You'll see on the mobile page that there is a way to add a new resource. So let's say you're scrolling on the internet and you find something you want to screenshot that you actually want to look at again later. You can click new resource. We'll just put in sample screenshot. This is the screen you'll also see on your phone. And if you add an attachment, you can literally choose a file right from your phone. You can add a topic or tag if you want to put it, like maybe you found something for sales and marketing and you want to put it under there. You can add any notes about it. You can add a source if you want. You can add a link, and then if you come down here, you can type some stuff out about it. You can upload multiple files, or you can add an image. This is often what I'll do if it is a screenshot. You can also upload it here. I'm going to favorite this just so that when we come over here, we will see sample screenshot right in our favorites now. So if you add something from your phone, anytime you open it up on your computer, you know that it will be here. There's a few different views here. This is favorites. So anything like you see, if I click favorite, will pop it up in this favorites section. If we go to all, it is going to show us in alphabetical order a list of everything that we have saved. And if you look on the side here, it will show you what topic or tag is applied to that resource, which basically just means like what life area does it belong to. And if you click on this tab, you'll see them in a gallery form. This is kind of nice because if you have files uploaded to the page or you have any notes or anything like that, you'll be able to actually see them here, which is kind of handy depending on what you're looking for. But you can know that if you come over here, they're all in alphabetical order. You can also add a new resource by clicking this button here, or by clicking new page here. You can also add one, or like I showed you before, you can click new resource while you're on your phone, put in the information, and it will pop up underneath this list, or this one if you check it off as a favorite. Over here, you'll see that we have a current season box. This is just a fun little thing. If you click view all seasons here, I really enjoy tracking what I like to do in each season, because I often forget, like, what are my favorite foods? What are my favorite drinks? What about my favorite shows, my favorite movies? What things help me transition from one season to the next? So if we open any of these up, you're going to see that I've filled these out for you, where you can just fill in some things that you like to do each season. And then when the season is there, you can just mark it as the current one. Right now it is summer, so I'm just going to leave it as that, and it will stay over there. And you can just kind of remember, like, what do I like to do during the seasons? Just a fun little thing that I found was really helpful and something I really enjoyed having. That'll be right there. If we scroll down farther, there's 2 other views. If we use Siri to add from our mobile phone to our Notion, I have a little video where you can click and set up a Siri automation so that you can say, hey Siri, add a task to Notion, and it will pop it right in there for you. This is where those tasks will come. So that is what this little mobile phone inbox is. We also have a view for habits. Now, I personally do not always use a habit check-in, so if you don't want to use this, you do not have to. If we click View Habits Hub, there actually is 3 different ways to use habits in here. If you watch this video, it will explain to you exactly how to use this page and how the different habits work, because I've given you 3 different ways to track them. But this little widget is nice. If we just click New Page here and click off of it, it's going to give us a little checklist. That checklist is going to show us what habits we have. If we want to change the habits, you can just open up the page here, and there's a bunch of slots already for you. So if you right click this and click rename, maybe we want this to be like reading, and then in order for it to pop up on here, little 3 dots here, go to property visibility and just choose reading, and now we can see that as well. Or if you'd like to hide them, let's say you only want to track one thing right now, we can just see one of them. So that's one of the ways that's really nice if you are interested in tracking your habits. But like I said, you definitely don't have to use that. I'm going to go back to the beginner dashboard, and you'll see, because I clicked New Day, there is our little habit tracker there. Lastly, we do have a view for projects. So projects, some people get confused on what even is a project, so I'll explain to you how I think of one. A project is a task that has multiple tasks underneath it that the important part is it spans multiple days. So if you have something that's going to take you a month and you have 7 things underneath it that you need to do, that would be considered a project. And there's 4 views here for you. Projects that are not started. Sometimes I think of something that I need to do in the future and I want to brain dump all of it out because it's on my mind and I'm thinking about it and I know I'm going to have to do this later, but right now I'm having all the ideas. Let me create a project for it and dump everything out onto the page so that later when I'm ready to start, I have everything that I need to do ready to go. So this will show you anything you have not started. When you are ready to start it, you can just click this little start button, boop, and you will see that it moved over here to this in progress section. So these will show you any projects that you have in progress, and that could mean that they are in progress, they're under review, you're waiting on a client, it needs attention, or you've sent it to a client. Until you mark it as done or archived, it will not leave this list. But let's say that we have gone ahead, we're waiting on this client, and now this project is done. If we go over here to archived/completed, we will see that project here. It is now completed and we don't have to look at it anymore. Let's say, for instance, there's a project and we started something and we're actually not going to work on it for a long time and we don't want to look at it anymore. We can click it, change the status to paused, boop. And now if we go to this pause section, you'll see that we have 2 projects here that we can either archive if we're like, oh, we're actually not ever going to do that. So we'll just archive it. It will send it to the archive completed. Or actually, we are going to start on that. Let's bump it back right into in progress. So that kind of allows you to track your different things, keep them in these different tabs based on the current status of them. Now, if we open up a project page, we're going to have a lot of information on here that's going to be very helpful for managing our project. You'll see there's a bunch of properties here. The topic or tag is going to be the life area that project falls under. If you have any attachments, you can add them here. Maybe there's a document, a syllabus, a guide, etc. If you complete tasks and have tasks linked here, which I will show you in a second, the task progress and the content progress will update automatically. You can put in a start date, and if you have an end date, it will calculate automatically for you how many days are left. Now, if we come down here, we can use this area to brainstorm and just jot down notes. Think of it like a Google Doc. And if we come down here, we can add tasks for the project. So let's say this is a task for this project. This is a task for this project. This is a task for this project. Now, if we come up here, we'll see so far we have made 0 progress on our tasks. But if I click and mark something as done, you'll see, oh, we've done 33% of our tasks. And if we need to, we can always look at what has been completed already for this project. Same thing. Let's say you're a content creator and you're doing a sponsorship for a brand and you need to have some deliverables. We can put in like IG story, and maybe you have to have a IG reel, and maybe you also have to make a TikTok. Now you can track these deliverables. If you mark mark them as posted, they'll also go over here to this posted section, and you can still see them here just in case you need to kind of give yourself a visual of what's been done and what hasn't. And if we come up here, we'll see, oh, 25% of the content has been complete. This is like your project management page. Very nice for keeping track of everything that you need to do in one place when it comes to your projects that might have a lot of moving parts and pieces. That is the Beginner Essentials dashboard. The really cool thing about this is that you don't ever have to use any other page in the system if you don't want to. Even if you only use this one page, you will still be getting a major impact, and it will be worth your time and investment just to utilize this one page. Now, going back to the page directory, you'll see there's this button on every page that will take you back to our directory. I'm not going to go over every page in this video in depth, but if you would like something a little more comprehensive, we do have our advanced high energy dashboard. This is going to be almost exactly the same stuff as the beginner dashboard. There is a bit more here, but overall, it's pretty much the same things, just with more pictures and more colors and more images and a few more extra features. But it all functions the same, and it's all the same data that I showed you in that beginner dashboard.